J17, and welcome back to another commentary. This is a 65 and 5 with the RPK on Villia. I know it's not the greatest game, but I'm, to be honest, quite fed up with this game now, and this was a reasonable game, and although not a high-scoring game, we did triple cap for most of the game, and I think they ended up on 56 points. This was one of the games when I was trying to get the old X-Jaws challenge. I'm not sure I actually did very well in that, but I think that's probably more down to the fact that I don't post very regularly or if I'm a very new channel. Anyway, I think I'm using Hardline, Sleight of Hand and Marathon on this class. It was a pretty good game, but as I said, it was quite short. Anyway, that's enough about the gameplay. Getting on to what I actually want to talk about was coming to the end of Black Ops. I love this game, and this is probably partly because the only other game that I really ever played was Modern Warfare 2, and although I have now subsequently played World at War and COD 4 online, they're just not as good, or they're not in their heyday anymore, and I sort of never had the sort of good times that everyone seems to have experienced on the previous titles, which I suppose is unfortunate in that respect, but hey, leaves me more open to hopefully liking Modern Warfare 3 a bit more, and trying not to compare everything to COD 4, because as a sort of bench stone that everyone seems to do, they compare everything to COD 4, which leaves everything a bit shy usually. Anyway, things that I liked about Black Ops were the fact that, I will say, although there were some overpowered weapons and there were some very weak weapons, the gun balance was very good. I mean, the weaker weapons were like the gun I'm using here, the RPK, which is literally one of the most horrific weapons to use, like for recoil. I don't understand what they were thinking when they designed the recoil on this. It was like, yeah, we'll make a gun, but it will be impossible to use. It should be fun. And that as well with the Uzi, which is another horrific weapon. Like the recoil and iron sights on that weapon are just disgusting. And then you've got the other extent of the other extent of it, which is the FAMASs and the AUGs, which are incredibly powerful weapons. But it's not impossible to counter with the other weapons, and the other weapons are, although they're not particularly good to use, they are plausible to use. Other things I loved about this game was the non-stackable kill streak, that I think was such a great improvement from Modern Warfare 2, for the very simple fact that it sort of, although it didn't seem to affect the high-scoring games, it just I say it made me camp less, because I knew I had to get out there and get the kills. Like, I couldn't just sit back and get my 5 kill streak and then just wait for my Predator to get a double kill and then get my Harriers and so on and so forth, or get your Harriers and get onto your nuke very quickly that way. So I liked that. I thought it brought a whole new dynamic to the game, which I loved. And the additions of some new ones, like the Napalm Strike, which is a brilliant kill streak, although there was an addition of the RCXD, which is an awful kill streak, and I wish they'd never put that in, but you win some, you lose some. Another thing I loved was the improvement to the spawn system they made. The spawns in Modern Warfare 2, I'm going to compare it to Modern Warfare 2 a lot, because that's the only other COD that I really ever played very much. The improvements were great, because you could spawn trap people so easily on that game, and the countless times where you'd be shooting someone and someone would literally just spawn on the same spot as them, and you kind of think when you got to the sort of points where you used to have chopper gunners where they just rape, because you could just fire one spot constantly and you just kill over and over again. They did make a good improvement to that, and I liked the improvement. I liked the addition of a couple of perks like Tac Mask and Flak Jacket. I thought they were great additions. Flak Jacket to take away noob tubing, which is a great problem in previous titles, and Tac Mask was just an awesome perk. I also loved the fact that they kind of nerfed the sniping a bit. I felt that was really overpowered in Modern Warfare 2, but the minuses they made to it, I think, made a great improvement to it. I mean, I'm not a great fan of sniping, as you probably noticed. I haven't put a single sniping game up, but I know that might cause a little bit of hate amongst the community. And also the non-overpowered secondaries, so going back to pistols, I think was a brilliant idea. Things that were bad: Ghost, Second Chance. Nothing needs to be said about that. Panic knifing, but yeah, it's a problem with all Call of Duties. It's always going to be there. They're never going to change the knife system, which is what I'm actually loving about Battlefield at the moment, is the fact that you can't panic knife. The connection and the hit detection are a major part of this game, and if you have a good connection, which I know I did from previous experience, I used to have a very good connection, which made it much easier to sort of play this game. Subsequently going to the worst connection, this game has become a lot more challenging to play. But it's not impossible, it's still easy. You can still do well with worse connection, as I'm still pulling good games out of a terrible connection, whereas I was pulling good games with a good connection. Isn't You just have to learn to play with it. And also, it can be a little bit more of a slower paced game. Like, that's entirely on the way that you play it. If you rush more, it's not slow paced. If you don't, it is. In sum up of this game, I thought it was a brilliant Call of Duty. It does have some negatives. It also has a lot of positives. But these are the kind of things you have to live with. I mean, everything has a bit of a bad and a good time. But anyway, this game's beginning to sum up. If you have anything else to add about this game, I'd love to know what your opinions of it were. Please leave in the comment section below. And when it comes around to Modern Warfare 3, I will promise to post a bit more often. I've been quite sporadically, quite poor at posting regular commentaries. This is partly because I don't have that much time, and partly because I really just don't enjoy playing this game anymore at the moment. It's ruined by the issues I've already mentioned. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.